The number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop lock.
Yo, what's up? It's that time again. It's the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast.
That's us.
Tuesday night, 8 o'clock.
Whatever
Pacific
night
time.
I want
You know
to.
what's up. Coming back on a regular time from Pigs
With a Z.
Studios
With a
in
Z.
Compton, California. Just
Hard
follow-
Z.
Follow the potholes.
Yeah, them
That's
bitches
the
are
map.
getting
Don't
bigger.
fall into the potholes.
Did you see? I saw on Reddit the other day. Someone posted. It was like on Olympic in San Vicente, where there was a giant pothole, and people had just stacked their rims. I mean, like their hubcaps, like on the corner. Like, yo, this is taking out. They were popping tires. Like after it
Oh,
rained,
damn.
it got gnarly. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Can you sue for that shit?
So as a part of that, what it said in there is that if you contact the city and you can prove that it was because of that pothole, you could get a settlement from them. How long that takes, how much you get, who knows? But
And
there
how to
is
prove it.
right. But there is a system in place that yes, you should be able to get reimbursed from
I
most
wonder if
big
Compton will
cities.
get some money up.
Fuck no, Compton. They're
They
like
got money?
If you call them and tell them that, they'll be like, you owe us $200.
Yeah, wasting our time.
You popped your tire on our street.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
fuck, you owe us $200.
Dude, Compton don't give a fuck about street takeovers, potholes, none of that shit. We're lucky we even got fucking
Got
lights and
horses.
fucking water.
Yeah, man. They even let people ride horses still.
Yeah, man. It's gnarly
You
over
have
there.
to, dude. You have to. Because
the potholes.
Yeah, I got
Ride a horse, fool.
I got a solution.
I don't even think they're potholes anymore. I think now they're like legally considered like sinkholes. So
This
watch
is
out, guys.
The land of 10,000 lakes.
Well, that's how we keep everybody
just
away
street
anyways.
lakes.
You know, that's how we keep everyone away from the studios.
That's right.
Secret location.
Also brought to you by...
You know what? We got the familia in the house
That's
today.
true.
We are
Yeah.
here with Oscar of My Grito Industries.
What's up, guys?
Welcome.
Thank you for letting me-
and
Tip of the spear.
and Oscar, there's no one else that can talk about our sponsor, our homies from House of Chingazos better than you can. Tell us a little bit about your fraternization.
We were like, right before, we're like, man, Mario does all the heavy lifting out there. I mean, he's so good at fucking doing it. Right before we pushed the button, we were talking about Mario being, and it was like, and Mario's way of being good was like, Oscar, you do it.
I was delegated, and now I went straight to the source.
Sure,
straight to the
I
source.
understand.
Absolutely have no problem talking about it. Yes, House of Chingazos. You can follow them on Instagram, on any social. You go to their page, they have a shitload of clothes, whether it's t-shirts, tank tops, jackets, hoodies, hats. They have a lot of great stuff. And if you go in there, you go ahead and on the discount code, if you put West Coast Pop Lock Podcast, you'll be able to get a discount. Not only do you save money, but you also give an opportunity to give back to West Coast Pop Lock Podcast so they can continue to do what they're doing.
Okay.
What? By the way, I asked fucking Steve, do we got a fucking password for a discount?
You
no,
did.
we got a link.
did.
Steve, it doesn't
Hey,
work
hold
like
on.
that.
You gave me a link, right?
Yeah.
I got a link.
But there's discount code.
The link I had was a regular link. Like, yeah, that doesn't work.
That's
But
like-
I'm going to put that there. The people who get paid way more than I do on this show, they know what's going on. So I did what I was told. I was just like, this isn't anything. But once again, the discount code for that is what again?
So if you do the name of the podcast, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast, you'll be able to get a discount. You're looking at a good savings, so definitely check it out. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised if the guys here, if they do a story tomorrow with the discount code. That way, all you have to do if you're following West Coast Pop Lock, which I'm sure you are, click that fucking link and you're able to save some money right away.
Yeah.
There it is.
Get the link, guys. Get the link. But on top of that, today, obviously, we have My Grito in the house. We have one of your artists here today.
Yes.
Maria.
Yes. What up, everyone? Thank you
Hi.
for having me.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome.
So, my name is Maria Sanchez. I also go by Groovy MS. I'm a soul funk artist from Riverside, California, but residing in Los Angeles and doing a lot of music out here in Los Angeles. And of course, working with My Grito Industries. So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome.
thank you for having me.
Now, we actually got to catch you live. Steve and I went out to, I forget, that was
The Mission Bar in Santa Ana.
There we go.
Yes.
It was the
Chicano Shuffle.
Chicano Shuffle's 5-year anniversary.
Yeah, so we were celebrating the 5-year anniversary for those cats, and we did have some artists. We had the McCharmleys, Bad Hombres, who's also on the label, and of course, headlining was yours truly, Maria Sanchez, who fucking killed that show. She did a great job.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate it.
Everyone's performance that night was incredible. I mean, it was a fun night to see everyone get along. It was a little cold, but aside from that, like, you guys kept the energy going. There was fire in the mist and whatnot, so it was fucking great.
Yeah, it was a good genre of music. It wasn't just like soul, you know. We had Bad Hombres, who's more like rock. The McCharmies are a little bit more Billy rock, like something like that, you know, a little mix.
They're
of
a good
everything.
time. They're a real good time. You know what? I didn't get to catch them there, but a friend actually told me about them. So I've just been kind of checking them out and kind of scoping them on my radar right now. So there might be a Pigs Radio interview coming soon with those guys. So
There you go.
I like them a lot. So now, how did you get in contact with Oscar and the whole My Grito stuff?
How did we?
He stalked you like everyone else?
For the most part.
Probably. I'm not.
Like I looked out my
Slipped
front
into
door
the
one day.
DMs, slide right in. No, well, for us, it was two different things that took place in order for us to get to know Maria. She was working with one of our artists, Adrian Carmine. So at one of the shows that Adrian was doing for Solo Records, she was there singing with him. She sounded wonderful. But before we met her there, a good friend of ours, Wax Villain, went ahead and hit us up. And I mean, talk about a guy that's just a fucking straight
Huge
G.
shout out to Wax Villain.
Big shout out to him.
Tapping in, Don.
Yeah, so Don is a real good dude where not only did he introduce us to Maria, and when we heard Maria, it was a done deal. We haven't seen her perform live, but it was one of those things that Rob and I were talking about. You know when you have an artist like Etta James, when you have an artist like Amy Winehouse, when you have an artist like, and I mentioned to her recently, Alabama Shakes. And I know Alabama Shakes, they did the run on K-Rock, but I had an opportunity to check them out at Coachella. Fuck, next level for me. But what you have about those three young ladies is that when you hear them sing, you hear their soul. You hear pain.
Yeah.
You fucking feel that music. And when we had an opportunity to listen to Maria's music, it was no different. So that was an easy one for us. So big shout out to Don, who introduced us to Maria. Also to another artist that's on the label, Florencia Andrada from Argentina. So he introduced us to her and some other artists that unfortunately didn't work out. But we lucked out with these two young ladies.
You got the best of the best.
Hell yeah.
What influences do you have? You hear most people when they start singing, oh, hey, I sang at, in the backyard, at the parties or church or...
Yeah.
Because I just seen the... a movie, what's her name? Whitney Houston movie. And it showed her background and stuff. And usually it's like always the church and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it was a good movie, by the way. But yeah, so how did you start singing? What was your influence?
Yeah, I mean, I've always sang since I was young. And, it's cliche to say, like, yeah, since we were little and all that. But I've always been surrounded around music. So my biological mother, who passed away when I was like 8 years old, actually sang in mariachi. So I'm pretty sure that's probably where I get my soulfulness, like the ability to sing at the range that I do. But I didn't start getting serious about it probably until like 2018, because at the time I was starting college at UCLA, and for me it was like a priority to have stability, and for that was an education to fall back on, because when in the music industry it's a 50-50. It's never, maybe even less. It's not guaranteed,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it 50-50, but so for me it was a priority to get my education out of the way. Last year I finished up with my master's in education, and so that's when I really started getting more serious about music. But always been around music my whole life, really into oldies. In terms of influences, Etta James is definitely one of those. I mean, a lot of like Spanish throwbacks too, just hearing around the house, around family parties and all that. But yeah,
I like that you're like, look, now I got this education. Let's get this out of here, and now let's do that.
Yeah.
I know it's there, and that's fine, but now I don't have to think about it anymore. Now I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, I still work in education.
But you know what I mean, where you're like, all right, that's not the important part anymore.
Yeah, now it's
this is the
100%.
important thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, shout out to D. Ron all the way from Jersey. He just lets us know that Whitney Houston's from New Jersey.
You know what?
Thanks, D.
Hey, guess what, D? Not everything has to be about New Jersey, man. Do you find a way to squeeze New Jersey into anything?
I think that every single time that D mentions Jersey, we got to take a shot of whatever it is that we're drinking.
Get out of here, man.
So right now with My Grito, is there new music, or are you guys putting out music together, or what's going on? Is he recording?
Yeah. So towards the end of last year, I started forming my band, which thankfully, like, we're all solid now. We started performing. So we are currently working on new music in hopes to release an LP under My Grito Industries. A lot of that, of course, is going to be soul, but we're definitely going to mix it up on the genres because, for me personally, and I know a lot of folks within my band, we pull from a lot of genres, from rocksteady, from funk, disco, everything. So I'm super excited for folks to hear that. I know we started performing some of the new songs already, which are a little bit different from my first releases, but yeah, so that's in the works for sure.
What's this video that you have on your YouTube? It's only one video you have. What's that about? Because it's telling us there's going to be new music coming around the corner February.
Well, that was last year's release.
Oh, last year. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of this limited edition release that we did. So it was a co-release between My Grito Industries and the first label that I actually worked with, which is Soul Tune Records. It's based in Sweden. So they're the ones who initially discovered me as an artist, and then eventually we co-released with My Grito Industries.
That album cover is super cool.
I know. Yeah, shout out
really
to
like
Dead Format. Check him out on Instagram. He did all the graphic artwork on this, the lettering and all that. It's so simple, but yet like it speaks volumes, So
it's so easy to fuck something up trying to do it like, oh, we'll just make it simple, and it's like, oh, that's not simple like that, Like,
yeah, but this is...
And that's the hardest thing to do is simple. I was just talking to a friend of mine who's an artist, and we were going through some artists that influenced him, and it was showing the simplicity of the art, but it's so complex to be that simple.
Right. To be able to strip it down. Like, sometimes, look, you gotta get, you get big, and then you fucking bring it in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it comes down to, like, we overthink it too much,
Sure.
Like, it's always good to trust your first instinct. Like, if you feel like that's it, that's it. Because then once you start thinking about, like, well, what if these people, like, don't like it? Fuck it. They don't like it. They don't like it, Like, there's a reason you started it that way,
Right.
know?
So, look, I tell people, I'm like, the plan is the plan, regardless of whether it's hard now. Like, no, like, there was a plan. Stick to it. Like, this is the plan.
Yeah.
Your plan started off with doing the soldies, or did you have something else in mind?
I'm really big on R&B. So I started off my Groovy MS page by doing just covers of music, and a lot of that was heavily influenced on soul, but mostly R&B actually. And that's still music that I want to release for folks to listen, just because I do have the range that fits in. I mean, that's typically what I listen to apart from oldies on the daily, So
yeah, we're seeing a big surge in that. There's quite a few artists that you have also on the label, and it's just coming like doing a comeback, like just getting that new vibe on it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's old stuff, but now the younger generation. It's good to see that because sometimes you don't. Sometimes in certain things, the generation wants to change it or make it something different. And I've seen that your generation, the artists that you have, are within that, but putting their own twist on it, and that's what makes it good.
I think we see that in a lot of folks. Like, I feel like myself, I'm an old soul. I'm super young, and people don't believe me, but I think it comes from having that love for that type of music that was released, years ago. It's like that's why they call it like what is it, like golden music, or it's always timeless. There we go, timeless. Like it's never gonna get old,
Yeah, I think the artists that are always in that genre that are like never get old is like a Bob Marley, like like Etta James, like bands of that nature that every generation can enjoy it,
Yeah.
And then being Latino, I can only speak for myself. I know, like for me, at my house, there's rancheras, and then there's oldies, and then there's what I'm saying. My dad would listen to swing because my dad was born here, but my mom's from Mexico. And then you have your cousins coming over, from the neighborhood, and they're playing all the old school jams, and so you get this big variety of music, and it's good to hear younger talent within that genre and still keeping it alive.
For sure. Yeah, I'm definitely grateful to even have the opportunity to do that, because I think we have so many platforms too that allow us to even put out music, and so easily, I think, now than ever before. So.
And what's beautiful about it is that in the Soldies arena, there's an appreciation at all ages. Because from a long time ago, you're going with your tío or whatever, and you go out there to see some of the shows, or I mean, for the most part, you see mostly gray hair, like me right now. But when we've gone to a Maria show, when we've gone to an Adrian Carmine show, and when we've gone to a Trish Toledo show, it's all ages.
Yeah.
It feels real good that music like oldies, it's something that can continue to be appreciated, not disrespected, but just something that can continue to be appreciated by multiple generations.
And I think it's something that's easy to listen to. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, we all like some crazy shit too, like some rock or some death metal, whatever the hell it may be that you may like, but it's so easy to listen to. It's not something that your parents are like, hey, turn that shit off. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you have it on and they look and they're like, who's playing that? Oh, you? So
That's when they pull the, what do you know about this?
Yeah.
Sure, I
What do
love
you know
it.
about
What
this
do you
grown
know
folk
about
music?
that? Oh, man, I love it.
But that's when your parents are telling you, bring me a cello or something. We're going to enjoy this together, have a little moment.
Yeah, definitely.
I enjoy getting older and being in that position now and telling younger people that, like, what do you know about this shit? You don't know nothing about this 1989 stuff. You were born, you know?
But then they start reciting it word for word, huh? Yeah.
Then they do know. And we're about to know something right now because we have that track and we're gonna play it really quick so we can check it out.
That was Maria Sanchez. Hey Love on the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast.
Dude, that was some professional shit right there, man.
Thank you.
Seems like you've done that before, both of you.
You know, sometimes I forget how different I sound on audio versus live. And I think it's because when you're in such a controlled space, it's like you're focused on sounding like a certain way. So when I sing live, my voice is deeper.
Sure.
I'm all, what the fuck?
Is it weird hearing yourself?
Not that it's weird, but I start almost like judging or critiquing everything because I'm my worst critic, and that's going to be with anyone. Like, any artist is always going to say the same thing because we always want it a certain way. So it's not weird, but I'm just like listening, like, what could I have done probably different, you know?
I love that you have vinyl. That's music that's meant to be listened to on vinyl. That's what when I was listening, my first thought was, this is record music, you know?
Thank you.
Definitely record music.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of comments coming in online right now. Wax
up,
Villain,
Adrian?
Stephanie, they're all sending you all kinds of great love online.
thank
They're
you.
enjoying the music.
Adrian
El Romantico.
Adrian, El Romantico. Why is he called El Romantico?
That's his wrestling name.
Oh, okay. I
He
like
just wears
that.
a lucha mask, so you never know it's him.
Oscar keeps talking about putting on his like lucha stuff. He's already mentioned it a couple times. I think by the end of the show, he's gonna whip out of his clothes into
That's
his
why you're in
wrestling
a
gear.
crew neck, huh?
He's like, I'm gonna be.
got it.
He's like, I gotta go. I'll see you later, guys. And then a minute later, some dude, who's this guy? I'm a completely different person.
He'll be in those wrestle roos.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Adriana out here, beautiful song.
Thank you. Shout out to everyone tapping in.
You have a lot of fans out there, so obviously we see the momentum that's happening out there. Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like the word fans because I feel like...
Admirers? Stalkers? What else would you like?
that's the stardust.
That's how we found Oscar.
No, I like to call them like soulful lovers, you know, because they like the same type of music I do and that I'm putting out. So I see it more of a community, if anything. Like, I don't like seeing it like, oh, like I'm this big singer and I got all these fans. Like, it's, and I do appreciate the support without a doubt, but I don't like seeing fans for some reason. I don't know.
You're a community and everybody has their part in it. You
Yeah,
know, I
yeah.
mean, you're doing your job, they're doing theirs. That's
I try
what's
to,
going
I
on.
try to engage with everyone, especially on social media. You know, I think it's important to show your gratitude for the time that people are putting in to even listen to your music. You know, it's not like just assume that people are gonna like it or you know.
The first time from doing this podcast, we did a live show at the bar, and the first time someone was like, "Yo." I listened, you know, and who I didn't know personally, you know, and it was like, oh, holy shit, thank you so much, you know, like it. So I understand the exact feeling that you're talking about. It's pretty badass, you know.
Have you had anyone come up to you and say, "Hey, that helped
Sam
me through"?
Jimenez, just to make it.
What was that?
What up, Sam?
Oh no, somebody say like,
no, yeah, go.
no, somebody say like, "Hey, you know what? That helped me through this. That touched me this way. I got over a breakup or a passing." Like, you know what I mean? Help somebody in that sense, and you know what I mean?
I have had a couple messages through social media, and that's why like I think this is like the perfect era and year to even be doing music because we can connect with folks that way. Where a lot of my lyrics, because I write all my lyrics for my music, is coming from personal experience or it's coming from experiences that I feel like a lot of folks have but don't talk on.
Sure.
And because it's so difficult to express that, and you know, that's why I say like music will always say what you can't. But yes, fortunately, or you know, thankfully, I've had folks reach out and just express that like these lyrics speak so much on my personal experience, and it's nice to be able to hear it in words. Yeah.
Did you see the Elvis movie?
No.
Because that's what they say there. If you can't say it, sing it. You know, and that was the whole. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll have to check it out then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, touching the community, touching people. You've had hurdles. You know what I'm saying? Hurdles and stuff
Trust.
like that.
Yeah.
Because
Wait, someone say drugs. Oh, okay, sorry.
Trust.
No, because we
You
always
had problems, drugs.
Drugs.
Like that.
no, not that. I mean, like hurdles, just like, you know, doors closing and thinking maybe this isn't for you.
Yeah.
You know, we always talk about that with us because this is why we did the podcast. To be honest with you, it was something that we can come and hang out and really just like talk and express ourselves. And Johnny's a stand-up comedian, and that's I think that's the hardest art to do, out of all the arts.
Oh, for sure.
And he's out there hustling every single day, and Mario's producing and doing shows and what have you. And so we always try to tell people, hey, keep it up. That's why we bring people like you.
Appreciate
people
that.
that are still that are close to the top or at the top, or I don't know what the top is for you. Everyone has a different idea, but that you can give some kind of advice, some kind of, hey, look, I've been through that shit. I've been through the bottom. I've been through the nose. I've been through, because everyone, when they're doing it, when they're in the middle of it, they believe that they're the only ones that get no. They're the only ones that get rejected. They're the only ones that aren't seeing the success, that you're seeing now.
Yeah.
But they have to understand that it's a process, and I think that's what we lose.
This is why I hate little kid singers. Like a little kid who's a singer.
Yeah.
Like, well, what are you singing these songs for? You have no idea what any of these words mean. You don't feel any of these emotions. You got a nice voice, and fucking beat it. Like, I want to hear somebody who's been through some life. You know, like I want to hear that pain in your voice. I want to hear the experience in your voice. I don't want to have some little kid fucking try to sing sad songs. Like, what are you saying? What are you sad about? Did you get SpaghettiOs last night? Where did you get out of here?
Oh no.
So speak on that. Speak on some of the things that you've gone through.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like word for word that I talk about, but my upbringing definitely was not easy. But it also, I wouldn't say that it's like the worst, because I know it. Other folks have gone through way worse things than I have. But childhood was not the best for myself and my siblings. I'm the youngest of 7. Yeah, the baby. Some of which are tapping in right now. Shout out to my sis Steph. I see you. But I think having gone through what I did, I've always been so independent, and I think it's really good to speak on that in terms of like taking your challenges head on and using it as fuel to like do what you want to do next. So like I have one of the tracks called Sensation, which was off my debut 45 with Soul Tune Records, and that one's talking about like, you are the only one who's basically limiting yourself. You're the one holding yourself back from doing what you want to do. So if you stop just thinking about like what could go wrong or like overthinking it and just do it, like you can make it happen. So like, how they talk about like manifesting it and making it into reality. And that's reality of it. Like like do it. If you have it in your mind, like do it. All you have to do is be consistent about it. Like you can't just start it and just be like, you know what, let me take a break. No, keep at it. So that's like one of the songs that talks or speaks on that,
Yeah. Because you've already created it. Once you create it in your mind, the creation is done. All you have to do is fulfill it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part that we get lost at. And the people like, the first little hiccup, it's like, man, it's not for me.
Discouraged.
Bro, you already thought about it. You already have the answer. Just get there. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It is. This is the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. We started from 3 guys just hanging out, coming here every week, and then one day it just blossomed to what it is. And now we got awesome guests like yourself and other artists that you've had on here that I've loved. And I'll only ask you for the artist, and not that this is just my opinion, that I hear and I'm like, damn, these guys they're doing it. You have Earringers, you have yourself, and guys like that, and groups, and yourself, and that I just hear and I'm going like, man, I can see the success, I can see where it's going,
But that's also why I say like it's a community support, because even you providing this opportunity for me to even come and chat with y'all, speak a little bit about myself, the music I'm doing, like that's taking part in my future success too, like folks who I've never met before or folks who've never even heard of me are now, oh, who's Maria Sanchez? All right, I'll take a minute to check it out. I dig it, so that's why I say it's always a community. It's never like you're doing this alone. Yeah.
No, and an opportunity, blossoms opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like we need people to come on the show so we can talk to, and like yourself, and then again, like you said, there's a guy in New Jersey that probably is gonna buy your record, right, Ron? Right, Ron?
Get it, D. Buy that shit.
But yeah, man, it's always great to just I love success. You know what I'm saying? And when we have guests, when we have guests. On here, we've had a mechanic, and now Hector has his own shop, and he's working on Lamborghinis and
race cars.
Yeah, like this guy works on some crazy ass shit, and he still lets me go to his shop and tinker with my truck. You know what I'm saying? But in every genre, we've had tattoo Cody, we've had here tattoo artists, we've had stand-up comedians as well that Johnny has brought on, and other people that do stuff, and just seeing people moving and doing and shaking. That's what it motivates you. And I know Johnny uses this a lot to come in here and get that energy back. He's like a Tesla in here, man, just plugged in, getting that power, and then he goes out there and he does his thing, man. And I see nothing but success for everyone that's associated with everyone here, man. Like Mario's come up huge, and doing all kinds of
it really
shit.
is wild.
It is.
Like, it's wild. Like, coming here and hearing people's stories, and then seeing where they are a year later, seeing where they are, like, how or what it's. And Mario's a fucking great example. Like, this fool had no jobs when I got.
He's like, what?
Wait a minute. I had too many jobs.
But I mean, in what you wanted, like that specific, like that lucha libre, and you just like now you're producing like some of the biggest shows in LA.
Yeah, man, it's wild. But like she said, you just keep grinding, you keep doing, and you figure shit out, and you get the idea, and you got to figure out how to get there. Most of the people fall off the wagon. We're like, I don't want to do it. I don't know. It's too hard.
I tell these fucking dudes all the time, especially stand-up comics, that this city, this industry, like all entertainment, all of it, it's one question, and it's the same question every day, and it's, are you tough enough? Like, that's it. Are you tough enough? Like, are you tough enough to get up and do it today? Are you tough? And that's every day you have to be like, yes. And then some days it's no, but then you got to get up
anyway.
But that's it. Are you fucking tough enough?
I think something you brought up last week, you're in the major leagues. This is LA. This is where everyone comes to become huge. And this is where you're starting. You know what I'm saying? So you're not getting the opportunity that all these other people do from all these other states, and they get to work on their craft, and then they get to hone it and then bring it here.
It's like going to prison. In California, you go to the major leagues immediately. Yeah. There is no minors here. The same thing with entertainment. There is no minor leagues here. You're already in the playoffs. Like, you're already.
And not only against people that are here, against people that are coming from here,
right?
From everywhere. And for you to be, doing what you do. I mean, we all know there's all kinds of people that are trying to do what you do.
No, for sure. And that's why I say, like, it's never guaranteed, but as long as you stay consistent, like I've been doing music, I would say, like, dedicating more time since how I mentioned, like, 2018. 2021 was when I officially released original music, and I took a chance and I was like, all right, let's do it. So that's when I released with the Sweden label. But had I not taken, like, certain opportunities, they would have never even discovered me, So yeah.
Was there a day that you just had you been writing songs the whole time, or was there a day that you decided I'm gonna start writing songs?
My siblings can probably speak on it. I had like a songbook since I was like little, and I would like write different stuff. Of course, like looking back, I would probably not sing that now, but like it obviously goes to show that like you're writing down what you're feeling, you're writing down what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, but. What was the other question?
How important was the bass of listening to? You could talk about that you were singing covers, like singing to your songwriting process, to learning how like this is how you do it.
I don't think it had much of an impact when it came to the lyrics writing, because I've always loved writing, like since not even just about music, like just in general, But I think what it allowed me to do is to listen to maybe more of the structure, I guess you could say, of a song. Because the way that I do my music, or the way that I write my music, is I'll listen to an instrumental and I'll freestyle over it. Now, I like rapping. I can't rap, or maybe I can. I don't know. But I'll freestyle over it, and then I'll listen, and I'm like, oh, there's a basic enough structure. Then I'll remodel like the lyrics, what's the chorus, what's the verse, and all that. But that's the way that I do my lyrics. I know other folks generally start writing their lyrics before they listen to music. But that's just the way I work. I don't know. Yeah.
There's no wrong or right way, as long as the job gets done and you're enjoying the whole entire time.
I agree.
Do you have any live performances lined up pretty soon that we can go check you out? We
haven't announced it yet, and I hope they don't get mad. But so We're looking at maybe March 25th. We're going to be in San Jose with Raza es Sol. We'll be doing a 2-hour set.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so we're super stoked. A lot of original music as well as covers. And we're potentially going to have a show in San Diego before then as well, or maybe even after. But we don't have logistics for that yet.
Got it.
Maybe in IE as well.
Yeah.
Maybe in IE
You know what? I'm trying to put on a show for Riverside because I'm from Riverside. And, you know, I got to put on for my city, go show some love. I definitely have some folks who show love from out there as well, so.
Yeah, we might get her on a Rumble.
Hey, there we go. Let's make it happen.
Heck yeah. How hard was it to create your band? Because I know you're saying that you finally got it together.
Yeah.
And trying to, I think it's even I think with music, it's really hard when you have this idea of what you want to do, and to try to get everybody on board to your idea. Because, you know, as you're a musician, they have ideas of what they want to do.
I got some ideas too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No, it was probably the most difficult aspect of creating music. So fortunately, the first person who joined my band was Esteban from Chicano Shuffle. So he plays guitar, and we got connected through my Grito industry. So we had started just rehearsing on music. Literally within a week or two of meeting, we wrote 3 new songs. And that's just how. And the reason I know I knew he was gonna be part of my band is this fool did a video of my song Dynamite, I believe, without me asking. Without like me saying like, can you just play it just so I can hear like how you play? Nope, he sent them the video. They sent it to me. I'm like, yep, let's do it. He's taking initiative. I love that. I love when people take initiative without having to tell them like, can you do this and that, you know?
And this is how I want you to do it.
And he killed it. I'll say that. And then after that, it was just a process of like putting up ads on like Craigslist just to get like a drummer. So then we solidified our drummer. Eventually, I had Vinny who plays with Adrian Carmine as well. So he's a buddy. We got him on bass. And then I got my girl Jazz on vocals. And she had connected with me prior to me actually doing actual music. And she was like, hey, like if you ever want to sing or like anything like that, like, you know, let me know. And literally a year later, I followed up with her and I was like, hey, here's an opportunity. Like, you want to come out? And now she's stuck with me for life. And then the last person we brought on was Jacob. He's our keyboardist. And we got connected through a mutual friend, and he picked up quick. Like I feel like my band is like tight. Like we feel like a community, like a family. Like I was mentioning in an interview recently, like online, that I feel like rehearsals are just us jamming. Shows are just us jamming. And the fact that I even feel that way, like, that already speaks volumes to me. Like, I can trust them on us doing shows, on, like, you know, for me personally, I feel like communication is key. And I'm very, very transparent with anyone I'm in connection with. So, and they know that as well. So I appreciate that they reciprocate that for me. So, but yeah, it was like a 3-month process for me to solidify the band. But as soon as we got together, we started doing shows back to back, like the last, maybe 4-6 months of the year, last year. Yeah.
I love watching a band. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When they're out there talking to each other and doing jamming and like having fun. And I'm like, I've never been in a band. I don't play any music. I can't sing. And like, that's still like, it's fucking magic to watch people up there do it and seeing like what happens live, you know, and like not mistakes, you don't call them mistakes, but like the little changes, the shit that goes on. I love when you can see, like, I always want to figure out what they're talking to each other about. When they'll go to the side away from the mic, start like, and it's like, oh, what's happening right now? You know?
Yeah, but what I like about Maria is that whether you're listening to her music on Spotify and you're cruising in your car, you're chilling at the pad, you're having a party with a group of friends, the music rocks. But when you see her live in a concert, she's one of those entertainers that, like I mentioned earlier, the ability to connect with people, right? When you're seeing her up on stage, I mean, you can tell that she owns those lyrics. She's lived through those lyrics. And her capability to really capture the audience and connect with them, and even in between songs, to really react with the audience, to me, when I go to a show, that's what I want.
Sure.
That's what I want to get out of it. And that's still absolutely what she delivers.
That stage presence. The stage presence. You know what I mean? That's always the hardest part, because you see some people up there, great artists, great this and that. But as soon as the song's done, they're like, trying to look away.
Yeah,
what am I going to talk about?
Yeah,
next song,
you
let's
can't
go.
teach somebody how to connect with an audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You just know.
they either have to have it or they got to figure it out.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes they don't.
very true. Yeah. I think for me though, it comes naturally because I'm just such a social butterfly. Like I do a lot of stuff solo. I'll go to a show solo, like whatever, I do photography too, so I'll just take it with me when I go to a show, and I'll just do some concert photography. But that's I think also why I feel so comfortable on stage, is that I already myself, like I can isolate myself, or I can put myself in a group and I'm good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Talking to the people, and we have your parents are watching. Very proud of you, excited.
Cute. Shout out to my pops, David, and my mom, Otilia. I know y'all watching too.
Yeah, and we also got Steve's gonna move out to California.
I see that Steven Polanco. He's relocated apparently from Utah.
He's gonna live right on that stage
Don't,
right there.
nope.
The chair now. He can sleep on that chair.
I already have Puerto Rican refugees that stay here. I can't take any more internet strays at the studio. Just can't, man. Just can't. Shout out to Manolo. Manolo just did a run, and he's gonna be back for Lucha Vavoom. So if you like Manolo and all his crazy videos, keep the eye out for the Manolo show next month.
No, yeah, that guy stayed here a couple of times, right?
Yes, he just went. He was here for about 4 days this past week. Last week.
Oh shoot!
I would like to do that. Just show up, so I'd be like, man, that couch looks like. I like stay. You don't mind if I crash here for a little bit, right?
I mean, the studios here is to save everyone's life, no matter how epic the trip may be. So absolutely.
You heard that? We can stop in whenever, right?
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Said it, I heard it.
As long as I'm here.
You're from Riverside on the way home. You're like, you know what? I can't go all the way. I'm just chill.
I'm gonna make
Stop
that
right
drive to
here.
Riverside. I know
Come
where I
on,
could
knock
go.
knock. Guess who? No.
Let me
But
in.
like,
What type of photography do you do? Because when I was in high school, I wanted to be a photographer.
Yeah.
I dabbled with it here and there, and then I ended up being a radio broadcaster. But yeah, not.
Hey, you could still do it though.
I
mean,
still mess with it. I have my own. I have an Instagram page called Chorizo Grease. Check it out.
Ooh. Yeah, we
shit.
will.
Yeah.
We will. I do more concert photography, so I love black and white. Like I just feel like I can tell a story, but I love color shots too. It's funny. I actually did a photo shoot for Chicano Shuffle. I did their pictures for them. That they used them for the announcements that they were working with My Grito Industries. So I do a little bit of that, but it's more. I feel like more of a hobby, and I just take it with me whenever I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to a show solo. Like I haven't seen this band or whatever. Because for me personally, I like to take pictures for like an up and coming band and not charge them. Like I'm like, here you go. Like here's some shots. If you like them, cool. Like if not, then don't worry about it. Like.
But that's how like all the famous artists.
That's how you do
did
it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, man.
Like
That's
you
how
got
do it.
you have the show like when you saw the Dogtown Skaters, there was just a guy there with the camera, and now he became famous. The guys for Rolling Stones, all these guys, they were just at the shows, hanging out, taking photos. And like you're saying, up and coming artists.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're huge, and your photos are the ones getting used,
Right.
Yeah.
and being published and stuff.
I've had some photos used by like other bands for sure, like or just even like reposted. Probably one of my favorite shows is Lady Ray, who's on Big Crown Records. I took my camera with me. I took some photos, and they reposted them. They did, they liked them, so that was pretty cool. But I think that's also a way to connect with other artists. For me personally, just as as an actual singer, I've been able to introduce myself to certain artists and just say like, apart from like photography, like I sing too. So, yeah.
Do you feel like being a performer influences your photography, like doing concert photography?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say 100%, because for me personally, when I'm using my camera, I'm trying to get shots like that I would have liked.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wish someone would take this picture of me.
I'm like, look at this. Like, you want to remember this specific moment, and I think that's what these pictures do, is that they remind you about a specific moment in time or about that show, like what was going on during that time. Yeah.
Are you in charge of your photography for your crew?
I am. We actually have a photo shoot coming up. I told them, I'm like, y'all better come dressed to impress. Like, so I'm going to do some portrait shots for them because I want to add them to my website, let folks know that I don't do this by myself. Like, I have my whole band with me who supports me in the new music specifically. So, yeah, that's coming up.
And are you going under Groovy MS or?
I'm glad you brought this up because everyone always asks me. So, For music, like when I'm, releasing music on Spotify and all that, I go by Maria Sanchez because that's my name. Groovy MS, I think, is just like a, what do they call it?
Alter ego?
No, like.
Stage name?
Not even. What is it? Alias name or something?
Alias, yeah.
Just because, I don't know, like sometimes it's so much to say Maria Sanchez, even though it's a short name, but like Groovy MS, I've had people call me that. And I think the thing I like to talk about this is that if you make it like a thing where like you're calling yourself that name, people will catch on and they start calling you that. Because that's how it started with me. Like, I started my Groovy MS page, and then anytime I introduce myself in a video, I'm like, oh, Maria Sanchez, aka Groovy MS. And people picked up, and they started calling me that, But no, Maria Sanchez is really what I release. Yeah.
Do you know anything about that? Mario 81?
That name was even given to me by somebody else. But no, Johnny, I don't. But we're super excited. Once again, what are those dates so that we can keep that stuff in the calendar? We can go check it out for it's March, right?
Yeah, so March 25th, we'll be in San Jose at Mama Kin's, but we haven't announced it yet officially. But we'll be out there in San Jose doing like a 2-hour set. Before or after then, we'll have another show, hopefully in San Diego. But right now, I think our priority is to work on the new music because we have like 10, 12 songs in the works, and we're just trying to get them all done and, get them recorded. Because test pressing takes forever.
Sure.
So,
is it still like 6 months to a year?
Yeah, this one was, I think, a year wait. And I had started this release first with Soultune in Sweden. So we press with a company in Finland. They're called Timion Records. And it was a wild.
How's that wait? Like, to wait for something that it's already done? It's just like, I can almost be like,
yeah. The thing is, though, when you're supporting, like, these smaller companies, and obviously for them to have that long of a wait, they must be that good.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the quality of the record that you're getting, that's why folks think it's worth it. And I would agree,
Are you having any other artists going to come on this new with you, do some stuff, or do you have any?
That's a good question. I haven't even thought about that. I think right now it's all original work. I know I have some collaborations coming out for sure with other artists.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, like Carlton Smith, I don't know if y'all are familiar with him, but he's from, I don't know if he's from Turkey, but I know he does a lot of shows out there. But we're coming out with a collab. It's definitely a soulful tune. Professor Galactico, who's also on My Grito Industries, we're working on something, as well as Harlot Sweetwater. Very different music in a sense, but we got something in the works as well. Who else? I think that's it for now, so far. Yeah.
Are you making any appearances on other people's stuff?
Well, yeah, they're basically
you're
those
working
folks.
on
Yeah.
them. Okay, so
yeah,
then they're not going to be
I'll
on
be like the feature on theirs.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Is there anyone that you want to work with that you haven't, or that you can see yourself working with in the future?
Lady Ray for sure.
Yeah.
I love her sound, and I know she's been in the game for a while. Back when she used to do music with Missy Elliott and all that. As a female vocalist, I would say her. Of course, I love like Duran Jones and the Indications, Kelly Finnegan, all that. In the R&B world, hey, if I ever get a chance to do some music with Erykah Badu,
hell yeah.
I love her. Yeah.
Erykah Badu's tight for sure.
Well, I'm a little confused because those are all great names.
Oh.
But there's been plenty of nights that Maria's come over to my house and we've drank in the garage. Plenty of IPAs.
Don't be telling people that.
She's heard me singing, and I thought you were going to come out with a song with me or something. I sing horribly, but...
There's actually a funny story. When Harless and I had started working on the song that we'll eventually put out, we had him come in on like just to sing because it was still in the works. Like we were just barely writing it. And he got down on some lyrics, but he was definitely on a couple drinks in, After that, we tried to recreate it. He couldn't do it.
No.
Yeah.
It's a magical window. It's a small
for
window.
sure. Wrestler, singer,
Hey, he's everything, multifaceted.
producer.
Thread the needle.
Not good at any of it.
It doesn't matter. You just gotta keep doing it, man.
How about venues? Any venues that you like that you want to play at? Because I know people like want to play the Palladium. They want to play.
Yeah. You know what? I would have to say that unfortunately I don't have too much knowledge about like the bigger venues or anything like that, and I probably should, because just like you mentioned, like those are maybe like goals that I should put for myself. My band, I would say, are the ones who know more about like venues or what they think is like quality or where we should be. I of course want to have the good sound. That's all that really matters to me, honestly. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because you have the Fox Theater out there, you know, in your neck of the woods. You have the Palladium, you have the Fonda, and they've had, you know, great artists perform.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then from there you go to the, you know, the bigger stuff, the Staples.
What about the Glass House in Pomona?
The Glass House in Pomona as well. Yeah. I mean, they've had quite a few people come through there.
That's the only reason I've ever driven out to Pomona.
Where the Glass
to
House?
see shows.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen stuff at the Fox Theater, you know, with some great artists and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
And I always like, you know, think about. I've always wanted. I mean, everyone's dreamed of being a rock and roll star or singer and shit. So I always see them perform, and you're always looking up, going like, "Man, I wish I can control a crowd."
You know what? When I make it, because I will, we will as a band and as you know as a label, I'm gonna bring you as a guest appearance.
Tell her about your
have
band.
you rock out.
Tell her about your band.
Why I do have a Norteño band.
Oh, what the hell? Why you holding back?
Yeah.
Well, because it doesn't exist. But
No, it does. I mean, see, I do everything backwards. You know what I'm saying? So it's called El Triste y el Feliz. Emociones Norteños. That's the name of the album. I already have that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
And I also have a punk band. It's called Bloodthirsty Truckers. Uninnocent Victims is the name of the album. So like, I do shit backwards because I already see the end product. Now I just have to get there. You know?
That's dope though. Hey, as long as you have the vision, like we said.
I already
There
have the cover out.
Yeah.
You know, stuff. I have it all. Logos, the whole nine.
All you have to do is know where you're at and know where you want to go.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, now I just have to figure out how to get there. Like, how do I get there?
Because you can't plan everything in between, you know? You can, but is it going to go that way?
You
Probably
just gotta
not.
You just got to know where you're trying to get to and keep going in that direction. That's it.
And when you start doing something like, you know, having a dream, and then you start, no matter what or what angle or what side you're doing it from, you start chipping away at it. You're that close. You're getting closer to what that goal is.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you're starting from or what you're chipping away at. There's guys that have been in bands for years. They don't got artwork. They don't got names for albums. They don't have titles for songs. I already got that. Now I just have to, you know, get the rest of the stuff. We'll get it. Adrian Cartman actually was, when we interviewed him, he was like, "Oh, I'm down.
To be in your band?
Yeah. The thing, Triste y Feliz.
There you go.
One step closer to becoming more reality. It's about to be manifested. It's going to be supplied all by My Grito Industries.
That's what we're going to be on that label,
That's
bro.
we're here to announce the signing of Steve's Norteño band.
They can give you a label, they can give you a band, but they can't give me a motherfucking bus or a goddamn shirt. I like how this works.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
It's all right,
Hey,
though.
they
We
know
still
what-
love you, Oscar.
Yeah,
We got
they
Patch.
know where the talent's
Oh,
at.
yeah. I got a patch today, too. Yeah.
Put it up there. Put it in the camera.
How about merch? Do you have merch?
I do. I should have worn it, but you know what? I was like, nah, not today. I do have a couple Groovy MS t-shirts with this specific design. So it's like the low rider with the palm trees in the back.
Nice.
But those are almost gone. So I'm working on a new project with one of our homies, Steven, to put out a new design. And possibly might get this actually on some t-shirts, some black t-shirts.
Oh, that'd be
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Down with that.
All I ask is 3XL.
Hey, I
Yeah,
got
you
For
you.
the
gotta make it
dudes.
3X.
I
I always tell
got
people,
you.
man, you can't forget the big dudes, and we'll buy because there's not too many people make it for us.
Yeah,
So we'll buy and buy.
I got you.
Heck
You're already
yeah.
on my list.
Yeah, no, I mean I'll buy it as long as I go on the website and it says 3XL available.
Buy now.
I'm buying. I'm buying 2 of them, one for now, one for later.
There you
Right.
go.
I keep one on the hanger.
You have to. I learned that from Johnny. He's like, you know what? Because Johnny wears black shirts also. He's like, you know what? When he sees a dope logo, he's like, I get 2 of them. Because you're not gonna see that again.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and then artwork like that is pretty dope. You know,
Yeah.
especially when you see like band merch, especially when they get down with it. That's you got to get 2.
It's important.
Yeah.
And then a
It's
poster.
important.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people out in the world see the Crimson Skull? They have no idea about the Misfits, but they know that logo. They know Black Flag Bars. Never heard the fucking song. Like they know.
That's true.
Like they that part of it is fucking important.
Yeah, visuals speak volumes for sure.
Yeah. And being a photographer, like you understand, like having the vision for what you want this to be. It's like
Yeah.
you just gotta keep reading.
I'm like, if I'll rock it myself, I know other people
Right.
will. Yeah.
Absolutely. There was the first time I ever saw Lars Frederiksen anywhere. We were backstage at the show. He's wearing all white. And he had a white Rancid shirt on. And someone said, "Why are you wearing your own merch? Why are you wearing a Rancid shirt?" And he goes, "Because it's my favorite fucking band." And I was like, all right, cool, man. But he was rocking his shit, you know. He designed
Proud
it.
of it.
Exactly.
Proud of it.
I've always thought about that kind of thing. Don't wear the jersey. Don't wear the band merch to the concert. Why not? I only get to see him once in a while, and I want to, I want you to know that I'm repping you. You know what I'm saying? I always wear it. I don't care what people say, because it's that's you're there for a reason, and I want you to see me and be like, I mean, if you see me, who knows, but be like, oh hell yeah, that fool's like down for my shit. Especially for music, And
it feels good. I mean, first of all, at our age, we don't give a fuck what people think about us. But secondly, when after the show, when you're going to King Tacos and you see somebody else rocking the same shirt, you're like, we were just there.
Hell yeah.
There's a little bit of a connection.
Yeah, for sure.
Not only that, but it lets the artist know that you're listening. Like, I think I've seen like one or two people like at a show that we had, and they had a T-shirt on. And I was like, no way! Like, let me take a picture of you. Like, that's so sick. I love to see it, and I know like the same thing that people they get too much in their head. They're like, oh, they're gonna think I'm a weirdo. Like, no, like that's what merch is for, to go support, show that you're listening.
But I think it's super humbling, like for you as an artist and for us as a young label. Anytime that we do see somebody wearing the merch, it still throws us back. It's like, first of all, gratitude, but at the same time, humbling. Like fuck, they actually gave a shit to buy a shirt and support us. That's awesome.
Yeah. Take their money, the hard-earned money, and buy something and wear it. And it is.
Rep it.
Repping it, definitely. So where can we find you on the socials?
Yeah, so my Instagram is groovy_ms. So that's Groovy Maria Sanchez, basically. I do have a web store, so that's groovyms.com.
What kind of stuff's on there? Just T-shirts, buttons?
Yeah, I have a couple T-shirts on there, I think, and this limited edition 45, because we pressed maybe 200 of these limited edition ones with the jacket, and then just maybe I think 300 of regular without this specific jacket. But yeah, those are on the website. Each one comes with some stickers, hand-packed with love by your girl herself.
Aww.
Little message, thank you so much.
Oh, that's dope.
I love what I would. That is good.
I believe My Grito Industries also has them on their website as well, and some My Grito t-shirts. But new designs coming out for sure very soon. Yeah.
All right, and then you have a potential show coming up as well, and you're on My Grito Industries as well as we are, and we want to thank you for coming out. It was awesome. That video was dope. Your music sounds amazing.
Appreciate it.
I hope to work with you.
Yes.
And have you at one of my shows out there.
I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you come out and do some stuff. I think you'd be great. Fit right into what we're doing.
I mean, I experienced it, as I guess a consumer. Like I've attended, and I love the events. We were talking a little bit before we started recording. You have a little bit of everything. You have the wrestling, you have the music, the micheladas, like just the vibe, right? It's like the atmosphere that you're in with other folks who enjoy all that. So. Well,
when I first started it, I was thinking of a Southern California cultural event. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we are. In Southern California, we know as Latinos, we like cars, and it's not just lowriders. We have rat rods there. We have, customs, and we have, different stuff. And then lucha libre, we all love lucha libre, you know what I'm saying? And we don't just have luchadores. We have guys that are, Mario, has brought some guys, and Alex as well, and guys that are like on AEW and stuff like that.
You know who's there sometimes wrestling?
Who?
Do you know who's there sometimes wrestling at the Michelada Rumble, Mario? The chickens.
The crazy chickens.
Crazy chickens, man.
But yeah, so that's what I try to do. Folklorico dancing, mariachi music, and then just music in general,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we would love to have you, and it's something that Mike Grito and myself will get and with you as well, and try to create something. But thank you for coming out here.
Of course. Before we head out, though, I did want to give away one of these copies of the limited edition 45. So if you want to let them know where to call.
Yeah.
When you call in, just introduce yourself, say what's up, and if you can remember any of the lyrics or sing them, please feel free to go ahead and do that.
So first caller, guys, call in at 909-475-7449. I thought Johnny was going to help me, but he was drinking right there. But 909-475-7449.
449.
Thank you, Johnny. Hell yeah. First caller to call in gets a free 45. Has free stickers, packed with love. Does that one also have a love note on it?
Not yet.
Not yet, but it will. It will. Anyone, guys, come on.
Give us a call.
I'm sure everyone's listening on through their phone and they don't know how to like dial up. They don't know how. They don't have it right in front of them. That's 909-475-7449.
Not everyone has two phones, huh?
No, not everyone's balling like that. But we'll give them a minute. Maybe someone will call in right now. Johnny, stall for a minute.
So I have a show coming up February 5th. February 5th at the Good Night in Burbank. I'll be there tomorrow night. There's a super fun show called The Riff Raff at Third Wheel Hollywood. I'm going first. The show starts at 10. I'll be there.
Hell yeah.
And February 5th. And I think I'm going to go up to the Santa Rosa Tattoo Convention in February, at the third weekend of February. Do stand up there too at the tattoo. Yeah, this guy asked. Nick called me today. Well, Nick texted me today and asked me, he was like, "Do you want to, would you do?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah,
You can hang out with Nick.
Yeah, and plus I owe. It's like tattooing I owe, and so it's like I would like to go. This is part of giving back. Which would be awesome. Pretty fucking cool.
Give it back, Johnny. We're going to give it back to wrestling because this Thursday at the 1720 Warehouse in downtown LA, you got to go check out our friends from Circle 6. If you love that death match shit, you love blood and you love fucking weapons.
Guts.
That's just the outside of the venue before you walk into the fucking match. Yeah. So once you get past everything else and you get inside.
7, that's what it's called, right?
Seven.
Right. Deathmatch wrestling. 7. Woo. Warehouse. What's it? 1720?
1720 Warehouse in downtown LA. I forget what street. I think that's 16th Street.
So Lucha Vavoom.
Lucha Vavoom returns to the beautiful Mayan in downtown LA, happening on February 8th and 9th. Tickets still available. This shit's almost sold out, Johnny.
The Valentine's Day shows are the best ones.
That's where it started.
It's fun every time, but the Valentine's Day shows are the best ones.
And then for Michelada Rumble, we will be, soon announcing some dates. But yeah, so and we'll have our resident DJ High C.
High C's hanging out in the studio. He didn't want to be on camera.
Sounds.
But during your guys' 100th episode, you fucking killed it. You had everybody moving.
Yeah,
the music was on point.
He was there. Yeah. He came out and blessed us with the set out there. But yeah, definitely it was. It's gonna be cool, man. We got a couple shows. We got Vegas. We have the IE. Los Angeles, Orange County. So we got some good shows coming up. Phoenix, and get rumbling.
If it's okay for me to throw a plug?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's plug time.
With Magrito, so we have these charity compilations that we've been doing already. We've done 4. They're called Más Alto. And this is where an opportunity where people can go to Bandcamp and go ahead and make a donation to a charity that we choose, which the charity gets 100% of the proceeds. We've had an opportunity to, the first one we did Know Us Without You when the pandemic started. That's when a lot of undocumented individuals that work in the back houses of all these restaurants, because they are not citizens, because they're not documented, they weren't getting support from the state. So there's charities like Know Us Without You that would go to help them out and provide food and other things to help them out during that difficult time. That was the first charity. We did the Esperanza Immigrants' Rights Project to also help out mostly Latinos and understanding more of what the process is in order to get documented appropriately. We did the East Los Angeles Women's Center, which helps out a lot of individuals that need that support, whether they were physically abused, mentally abused. They do an incredible job, women, men, it's all over the place, which, by the way, Maria had an opportunity to actually perform at one of their events. And that meant a lot, and she had an opportunity to see firsthand what this charity does. The last one we did was the Emo Brown Foundation, which is another podcast that we do sponsor. They're out of Chula Vista, and what they do is they have these scholarships that they give out to 7 to 8 individuals, most of the time Latinos. We're talking about $10,000 each for them to go to college, to go to university, to further their education. This year, and we haven't announced it yet, but I figured I could do it here on the West Coast Pop Block Podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to be announcing it the first week of February. The next charity that we decided to choose, and Maria had a big part in us locking this in. It's an orphanage that's in Mexico, in Baja California, in Tijuana. Corazón de Vida. They're an incredible, legit orphanage that does so much for a lot of the children in Mexico. And we decided to choose them because that's something that's very special to me, very special to us, that we wanted to give back. I know when I do my guide, we have a couple buddies that we hang out for years. And I've had the opportunity to go to all these different orphanages in Ensenada and Tijuana and give what we can in the past. But now for us to be able to do it under the label and have all these amazing artists that are willing to provide their music, their talent, to create this Más Alto compilation where other people can listen to the music on Bandcamp, but also make a donation, whatever amount they want, $1, $20, it all goes to Corazón de Vida in Mexico. So we have all the artists from Magrito, they're gonna be providing a song, and we have all these other very talented artists, and some artists that we didn't even fucking expect that they would reply to our message, but they did. I think when they realized that what the cause was, it was no problem, it was a no-brainer, they wanted to help out. So we have that coming up.
Hard to say no.
Hard to say no. And if they do say no, they're fucking assholes.
That's where your bus money's at, right, Mario?
I see. We're helping the children in TJ.
Helping the children.
Right. You know what? When we went to wrestling, we helped the children too. We gave them really good seats. So we're out there trying to do good. So absolutely, we're trying to change everyone's life at one show at a time. Not every superhero wears a cape. You know, so absolutely, we see how things are in TJ. It's fucking gnarly. It's beautiful. It's crazy. You don't want to go by yourself. You don't want to drink the water. You don't want to touch anything. You don't want to go barefoot. You take your own toilet paper because every sheet it costs 25 cents. It is gnarly.
Mario's dropping.
But the tacos are dope.
Yeah.
The tacos are legit.
Hey, that birria was good. Yeah. That fucking that all-you-can-eat Brazilian barbecue spot we hit up that one time. That shit was bomb as fuck. So there's some hidden treasures out there. I just wouldn't walk around barefoot or by yourself at night.
And this hidden treasures on every Tuesday night. It's the West Coast Pop Block Podcast live every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, coming to you from Compton, California.
Pigs with a Z.
It's the West Coast.
The number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Block Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario